Today, an FDA approval and a priority review in ovarian cancer, 2 CHMP recommendations in non-small cell lung cancer, disappointing results in a prostate cancer trial, a co-branding partnership between 2 institutions, and the official demise of the Part B payment model. Welcome to Enclave News Network. I'm Gina Columbus. The FDA has granted an accelerated approval to the PARP inhibitor rucaparib as a treatment for patients with BRCA-mutant advanced ovarian cancer who have been treated with at least 2 prior lines of chemotherapy. The decision is based on data from 106 patients across 2 clinical trials, one of which is the ARIEL-2 study. A pooled analysis showed that the objective response rate was 54% with rucaparib, while the complete response rate was 9%, and the partial response rate was 45%. The ORRs were similar regardless of whether patients had germline or somatic BRCA mutations or mutations of the BRCA1 gene versus the BRCA2 gene. In conjunction with the drug approval, the FDA also approved the companion diagnostic Foundation Focus CDX BRCA to detect deleterious BRCA mutations in tumor tissue. This is the first next-generation sequence-based test to gain the agency's approval. Also in ovarian cancer, the FDA granted a priority review to a new drug application for niraparib for use as a maintenance therapy in patients with recurrent epithelial ovarian, fallopian tube, or primary peritoneal cancer who have responded to platinum-based chemotherapy. The application is based on data from the Phase 3 NGOT-OV16 NOVA trial, in which maintenance niraparib reduced the risk of progression or death by 73% compared with placebo for patients with germline BRCA-positive, platinum-sensitive recurrent ovarian cancer. At a median 16.9-month follow-up, the median progression-free survival with maintenance niraparib was 21 months compared with 5.5 months for placebo in patients with germline BRCA mutations. An expanded access program for the PARP1/2 inhibitor in the United States is scheduled to open in January 2017. In non-small cell lung cancer, the European Medicines Agency's Committee for Medicinal Products for Human Use has recommended approval of alectinib as a treatment for patients with metastatic ALK-positive disease. The indication would be for patients who have progressed on crizotinib. The opinion is based on data from 2 Phase 2 trials, which are NP28761 and NP28673. In the first study, the overall response rate with alectinib was 52.2%, and the median progression-free survival was 8.2 months. In NP28673, the ORR was 50.8%, and the median PFS was 8.9 months. A final approval decision for use in the European Union is anticipated in early 2017. The CHMP gave a second positive opinion in non-small cell lung cancer, this time for upfront treatment with pembrolizumab for patients with metastatic disease with PD-L1 expression levels of more than 50%. Patients also must not harbor EGFR or ALK mutations. The recommendation stems from findings of the KEYNOTE-024 study, in which single-agent pembrolizumab reduced the risk of death by 40% and improved progression-free survival by 4.3 months versus doublet chemotherapy for untreated patients. For this indication, the European Commission is expected to make an approval decision by March 2017. The addition of enzalutamide to abiraterone acetate and prednisone failed to improve progression-free survival versus the 2 drugs alone in chemotherapy-naive patients with metastatic castration-resistant prostate cancer who progressed on enzalutamide. Results of the Phase 4 PLATO trial have not yet been released by Astellas and Pfizer, the co-developers of enzalutamide. An earlier small study of the combination from 2013 showed that approximately 45% of 49 evaluable patients had a 90% or greater decline in PSA from baseline. Additionally, 3/4 of the group achieved a 50% or greater decline in PSA values from baseline, while approximately 84% achieved a 30% or greater decline from baseline PSA values. Representatives from Medivation, which is part of Pfizer, said they would continue to analyze the PLATO study data to better understand the results. A co-branding partnership has been announced between Hackensack Meridian Health of New Jersey and Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, one both parties said would lead to highly fruitful collaborative research and make hundreds of clinical trial opportunities available to their patients. The announcement came on the heels of the recent signing of the $6.3 billion 21st Century Cures Act to fund precision medicine and other health initiatives. MSK has been recently expanding into New Jersey. Hackensack Meridian, through its involvement with Regional Cancer Care Associates, has been broadening its network of roughly 25 independents into other states on the East Coast. The partnership, under which the organizations would co-brand their activities in New Jersey, would also contribute to value-based care through efficiencies and improved patient focus. The demise of the Medicare Part B drug payment model experiment has been confirmed by CMS and Representative Nancy Pelosi to cut margins paid to physicians on some of the most expensive drugs and introduce private sector thinking into drug purchasing and pricing systems. The Part B drug payment model would set reimbursement rates based on zip codes, representing a decrease in payment for some. In late November, CMS missed an important deadline for putting the Part B model into effect. The proposed model had drawn strenuous broadsides from the medical community, including ASCO, which contended the revision of the drug payment formula would have left physicians financially underwater on many drugs. That's all for today. Thank you for watching Enclave News Network. I'm Gina Columbus.